the socialist project is a project of recovering humanity, making people into humans. "20 years ago, I was in my mid-30s. I was an academic, I was working as a journalist, I was, struggling to find my place in the world. I mean, one of the most difficult things about building a life is to find your place in the world. It's very difficult. Your teenage years are difficult because you're anxious. You don't know what to do with your hands, your body. You remember that sensibility. As you get older into the 20s, the 30s, you're not sure you made the right choices. Let's say you're 20 years old and you think, I need to make choices. You decide this is my career. But then by the time you're in your 30s, you're concerned, have I made the right choices? I remember a poem from the language called Urdu, which marked me very much and continues to be important for me. And the poem goes, "Aadmi tha, badi mushkil se insaan hua." In other words, Aadmi tha, we were people, badi mushkil se insaan hua. With great difficulty we became human. And for me, the one key word in my life has been human. I'm very interested in human. Human for me, it's not like a noun, it's not like a thing. Here's a human, and here's another human. Human is a process. You have to become human. You have to learn to engage other people. You have to develop compassion. You have to develop the capacity to love everybody. That's not easy. So there's a lot of other words that I like, love, whatever, solidarity, all of those. But at the heart of everything is human. And I very much believe that that sentiment in the poem that, you're born as a person. You're born as, flesh and blood and hair and, whatever, bones and organs and so on. You come out into the world screaming, like all children. They're born and they scream because, they're like, what is this world that I've entered into? And the first thing people do is we scream. And then, you're held by your parents and you feel the heartbeat of another person. Children are often put on the chest of the mother and they're held on the chest of the father and they feel that heartbeat, those heartbeats together. They learn how to become a human. But what happens often is the way the world works is we start losing that humanity we learn sitting on the chest of our mothers. And I'm very keen, I feel, for instance, that the socialist project is a project of recovering humanity, making people into humans. I actually hope that I never feel like I found my place in the world. And the reason for that is that I think if you feel like you've attained your goals or found your place in the world, then you might start getting complacent. You might start feeling, I've achieved everything, Nobody can ever achieve everything. Nobody should feel like they know who they are. It's a journey. It goes till the day you die. So what would I tell myself, 36-year-old me, 36-year-old Vijay? Actually, if you gave me 10 more years and it was 30 years ago, and I could tell my 26-year-old self, actually, I want to do that. I want to tell my 26-year-old self something, not 36-year-old. Because at that age of the mid-20s, it's such an important part of your life. I would like to tell myself, be patient with yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. I would tell myself that, you're not a bad person. You're okay. And the struggles you're involved with, they may not seem to win immediately, but they're still worthwhile. It's okay. You're on the right track, I would say. Now, the benefit of things I've learned, I would say a couple of things. I would say be more honest with your friends and with your family. Be more clear with them about things that are in your head. I would say don't be so inside yourself, assert yourself a little more. Don't be so afraid of telling other people what you think. because that's the thing that I still struggle with, being more like, this is what I think. Too worried to, not have people feel happy, and sometimes you can't spend your life making people feel happy. You got to sometimes tell them, look, that upset me. And so I would tell that 26-year-old, be patient, be kind to yourself, assert yourself a little more, and be honest with people around you. Because I think that you fall into a trap of a little bit of, too scared to say certain things. I didn't pick 26 because that's about your age. I picked that because I think the 20s are a very vulnerable period in people's lives, because you're out of your family's immediate guidance. The immediate guidance of your family is not there, and it's not there because you have pushed them away a little bit. Parents, and they never want to see you go. I have a daughter who's 23 years old. I don't want to see her go, but she has to go. And I'm not pushing her, but she's going off and doing her things. And I can see her, the guidance of the parents in that intimate way isn't there. But it's difficult because you yet don't have faith and trust in yourself. But everybody's telling you, you're an adult. But, you're still that 10-year-old kid. You want your parents to show up and say, hey, listen, hold my hand when you cross the road. But you're now in your 20s and you're like, don't hold my hand, but you really want them to hold your hand. I think I have a lot of compassion for people in that part of life. Not only because my daughter is there, but